in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. This is the Jersey Boys Sports Talk. And this is your host, Santiago Leon. I'm subbing in for Victor Rocho. He's on assignment in Las Vegas tonight, but he'll be calling in sometime tonight during the show. And joining us, the co-host, Byron Jones. Welcome back.
Howdy.
And Byron is in Pennsylvania tonight, but he's joining us anyways. We got John Roddenberg and Joe Caparo. How's it going, guys?
Evening, sir.
Hola.
Anyways, it's been one heck of a week. And it's Super Bowl week. A lot of hires, a lot of coaches being filled, of course, not just the head coaches, but the assistant coaches and things like that. But first, before we get into the fun stuff, Byron, how was your week?
My week is wonderful. It didn't snow up here, which I'm happy about because I wasn't getting on any skis. I don't snow tube. I don't throw no snowballs. I don't do none of that stuff. Came up here. We went to the range, got some downtime on the range. All's good up here. That's all that matters.
John Roddenberg, how about your week? How's your neighbor? How is your Eagles neighbor?
Eagles neighbor is fine. Matter of fact, he's going to be probably tuning in if he isn't already. He does. He's a mailman. So what he does is on Fridays is when he usually downloads the podcast and listens to us. So, but no, he's fine. Everyone here is fine. Good week at work. Had a minor procedure done on Tuesday. Other than that, hey, rock and roll.
Bury the lead. What happened?
No, I could show it to you, but we're trying to be a PG-13 show, so
we're a family show, right?
Yeah, let's leave it. Let's leave it.
Joe Caparo.
Thanks for asking, Joe.
Joe Caparo from Portland, Oregon. What's happening? I know you listened to the NBA this today. A lot of trades, but how is your personal life going?
My personal life is nowhere near as exciting as like you said, the Blazers trade week, which I had covered in print and online and on a couple bunch of podcasts. So I'm worn out. Personally, I haven't gone out of the house in about 2 weeks, so I'm feeling personally refreshed. Actually,
have you showered? That's the big question.
But I'm up to about once every 4 days. See what happens once the beard gets past a certain length. It starts to collect things, and you have to shower at least, I'd say 3 or 4 days.
Or take a brush if you're hungry and just get some of them crumbs out of there.
I'm at least matured beyond that point.
All right.
Barely, but beyond.
Well, before we start, as John says, you can listen to this podcast on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. You can search the Jersey Boys Sports Talk. It is every Thursday live, but you can listen to it later on the podcast. Please subscribe, and also we subscribe to our YouTube and also on our Twitter and our Facebook. Of course, if you have a smart speaker, you can also listen to us on your smart speaker. The Alexa is usually the top one, if not Google Home, for sure. And of course, download our app, the Sportscast for iOS, and go to the sportscast.net. A lot of late breaking news. Today was an NBA day, right, Joe? It felt like everyone was talking about James Harden.
Yeah. So the big one was James Harden for Ben Simmons and a couple others, which, given what Daryl Morey wanted for Ben Simmons alone all season, kind of seems like a capitulation on his part. But I'll tell you what, the NBA, when you see a big trade, the team that wins is always the team that gets the best player. And that's James Harden in this deal. And Ben Simmons, man, nobody knows if he's going to do anything. He could be a complete washout for them. And I'll tell you what, they may have a talented team, but Brooklyn is the most mentally fragile team in the history of professional sports, with Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, and Ben Simmons as your top 3 players. All 3 of those guys are unique and sensitive individuals, which doesn't always translate to success on a championship level. As sympathetic as I am towards anyone with mental health issues, being a person with mental health issues myself, I don't see that being a recipe for championship success.
Byron, Philadelphia looks a little bit stronger with Harden. Do you think?
Yes, because they got rid of the crybaby Ben Simmons. That's what everybody around Philadelphia was, when I was doing the Meals on Wheels, that's all they talk about. Ben Simmons, he's a crybaby, he's soft, he let his team down. So they're very happy, good riddance, and we'll see how James Harden can deal with the Philadelphia fans.
John, who is your NBA team?
It's the Nuggets. I'm a homer. I'm Denver. Except for the Rockies, and I'm not really a baseball guy. So, but by the way, the first place Avalanche play tonight at 9. I'm just letting that out, in case you guys are wondering. But no, I really don't follow that closely. I mainly follow the Philly sports teams, and Byron knows why. Is because we love to make fun of them. And but I actually think the Sixers actually have some hope now, and bless them. It's a good trade.
Yeah, good trade. Sounds very positive. And we got someone coming in soon. But before we head to that, I have to say, Mike, get off my chest. Mike McDaniel got hired. He got hired this week. Had a press conference, and he actually interned for the Broncos, John.
Yes,
back in 2005.
Yep.
So, huge Broncos fan himself. I heard.
Oh, yeah.
So,
well, Vic, is that the monogram that Vic has on his bathrobes and stuff that just showed us? Oh, there he is. Oh, hey,
Victor Rocha joining us from Las Vegas on assignment. Welcome to the Jersey Boys Sports Talk.
What's going on? They actually gave us a plug on this podcast as I was walking out. So
never a bad thing, right?
I felt bad. It's before the Super Bowl. I got to be on the show, so I was able to get out. I just finished up. So I'm a mute on and off because there's noise in between here.
I understand. All right, so we're gonna jump into the Giants coaching staff. Mike Kafka is the new offensive coordinator. He is coming from. I have my notes here, but he's brand new to the organization for the Giants. Of course, new hires all across the board for the Giants. We'll start with Byron Jones. He came from Kansas City as a QB coach. Very explosive offense. How much can you bring to the table for the Giants?
Well, the only bad thing about the poor guy is that he did play for the Philadelphia Eagles. So, just going to throw it out there. But, he did a great job out there with, Patrick Mahomes, as far as, his development. And hopefully Daniel Jones, Victor Rocha will work along the same tracks, and we'll see how that goes with Kafka.
We have this documented right now, right?
Yes.
What does it say in the document, Santiago? So he's going to be resurrect and be a superstar.
I didn't say he's going to be a superstar. He's going to be a serviceable quarterback.
Oh, no.
I think it was more than serviceable, yeah.
Okay.
All right, a little bit more than serviceable.
Okay, no worries. I'll pull up the notes. All right.
Yeah.
Joe Caparo, what have you heard about this guy, Mike Kafka?
Well, I don't know much about him, but I can say that if he's coming from Kansas City staff, I worry that he's inherited some bad habits from Andy Reid. And I know everybody, Andy Reid took him to the Super Bowl. I get it, but he makes bad decisions when it comes to time management and just overall sort of, I hate this expression when they use it about quarterbacks, but Andy Reid's a terrible game administrator. I always feel like you could plug any high school coach in there to make the basic decisions for him, and he would do a good or better job, particularly when it comes to the clock at the end of the first half. He's lost. Vic's shaking his head, man. He's lost them a dozen games in his career there with his terrible clock management. So I worry that I don't see much. I don't put a whole lot of stock in the Andy Reid coaching tree, whatever the Andy Reid coaching bush, coaching shrub, whatever it is.
Shrub.
John, go ahead, John.
I'm just one of those, and I've stated it before with Eric Bieniemy. How much of a coach does Mahomes actually need? You know what I mean? Mahomes wasn't exactly Mahomes this year. Who knows? But Kafka, he's got a good rep as a coach, but he's really not done that much. Kansas City, okay, but you're still riding on the back of Patrick Mahomes.
Victor Rocho, any comments on these commenters?
You're killing me. Yo, guy, you're killing me. Don't make me have to change up the game on you. Byron, where you at? Byron, you're not in your normal like man cave.
Poconos.
Oh, that you're in the Poconos again? Oh man, yeah. You should be retired. Wow, that's awesome. All right, two things. One, you're killing me with Andy Reid, man. I think he's a good coach. Bottom line, 4 NFC championships. There's only so much you can do there. Number one. Number two, John, Byron, I mean, you got to respond to this. How can you, I don't care how much talent you have in the NFL, you still need a good coach. You can't just say, well, how much coaching does Patrick Mahomes need? He needs coaching. They all need coaching, right? So some guys become superstars you've never heard of, coaching. Some guys' careers get resurrected, coaching.
Like Daniel Jones.
But look at we had lousy coaches and lousy offensive line. Byron has, you see the chat, these are verbatim. I got it written down. That's why I say there's no change. Byron stated Daniel Jones to rebound as a star, period. And I repeated that, and we got it, but that's okay. There's no serviceable. Difference between serviceable and a star is a huge gap. All I'm saying to you, my opinion, is that I don't care how much talent you have, you need coaching. Number one, and
I'm not doubting that. I'm not going against that, Vic. But
I agree with that too.
I'm just
but Andy Reid's not a good coach.
This year, when they thought it was going to continue the miracle, let me scramble and throw whatever I want the way I want, and someone had to coach that and change that philosophy, because everyone realized, hey, we got you now. Now they went back to regular football, not a playground football. Let me make these big plays every time I have it. That's my opinion, number one. And number two, I seen him this year attack the line of scrimmage as much as less than he has in the past few years. It was almost like that was a design for him. That's it.
Whoa,
Byron?
How many Super Bowls has Andy Reid won? One.
That's one more than me.
Me too. The last game they played, Cincinnati, when they played against them, how many adjustments did he make during, once they realized Cincinnati was did he make any in-game adjustments? Absolutely not. So the great coach stuff, take that and throw it right out the window.
I'm with you, Byron. He's been out-coached in more AFC championship games than he's out-coached the other coach in.
I can't hear you. Can you say that again?
I said he's been out-coached.
NFC.
Sorry. Yeah, he's been out-coached in more championship games.
Okay, all right. I just wanted to hear that, make sure I heard that.
Joe's
guys
talking about this.
Who you want to blame when you have, Spagnuolo needed to make some changes. The head.
Who's the head coach? Who's the head coach?
Oh man, you're killing me. You're killing me. I think there's some credence to it. I don't think you could put it all on them. Your boy Arians, which you didn't, now you don't like him, when he said that they didn't all blitz. They told him to blitz. I mean, come on, Byron. You've coached before. Have you ever told a player or the team to execute this and only partially of them did it?
This happened a few times.
Okay, so
they weren't getting paid millions of dollars either. Though.
Oh, now it's back to money, y'all. You got something to fall back on every single time. My issue wasn't okay. Two things about Andy Reid. I wanted to separate those two. Okay, I could agree to disagree, Joe, and I know how you feel about him. All I was saying was responding to John's comments about how much coaching does Patrick Mahomes needs, right? I mean,
I agree with you on that side.
He needs less than Daniel Jones, but he still needs coaching.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. I think players are only going to be so good without proper coaching. I feel like that's more due to the strength of the position coaches on that staff and the coordinators over the years than it is anything Andy Reid's done. So.
Well, one thing you brought about Andy Reid's habits, should we bring up his eating habits too? Because
no, because I'm fat also.
Yeah, but so am I. But
Andy Reid. Let's go back to
he looks like the freaking Kool-Aid guy. He's gonna burst through the wall and go, "Oh yeah!" So
don't throw stones.
I have a big.
I'm down to 244 now. I'm living it.
Thank you, guys. Byron. So with this new offensive coordinator, can this help out the quarterback issue at the Giants? Mr. Quarterback Danny Jones, can he do it?
Yes. Daniel Jones is going to be a star. I changed my mind.
Now he's back to star.
He's
Say
going to
that
be a
again.
star next year.
Joe,
He's going to get.
move your hair out of your beard.
He's going to get coached up.
Serviceable or star?
I believe he said star very clearly. Star.
I heard star.
He's going to be in New York. He's going to be like, I ain't going to say Eli Manning, but he's going to be Phil Sims kind of star. I'm saying it right now.
That's a Super Bowl winning star, is what you're saying. I believe is what I'm hearing.
Daniel Jones is going to take us to the promised land. He's going to get coached up. He's going to be fine.
Poor delusional man. Have we had Byron checked for dementia?
No,
send some social workers out there.
No, I'm good. Daniel Jones is going to be a star. You heard it right here.
I think Daniel Jones will be a lot better because he will actually be getting some kind of coaching, because I don't think he was getting any in New York. You talk about coaching positions. I'm not sure they had a quarterback coach with the Giants last couple of years.
I think it was Jason Garrett.
To the next
okay.
yeah.
All right, so let's go to the next coach. Big hire. Byron and I were discussing offline. Wink Martindale. He is coming from the Ravens, defensive coordinator, joining the Giants as a defensive coordinator. Byron, what do you think?
That was the one I wanted. I had a small list, but this guy is going to change the whole face of the Giant defense. They're going to be a lot more aggressive. The only thing that's going to be different now is that I think they're going to draft a DB maybe, because his kind of defense is oriented with the DBs covering, and then him with exotic blitzes and scheme and the pass rush and stuff. But that was a good hire. They're going to be a lot more aggressive instead of wait and catch, get inside the 10. All right, let's spread out all over the field and hope they don't score. They're going to be a lot more aggressive with this guy.
Joe?
Okay, but also I got something to say real quick. We had the defense coordinator was Graham before, right?
Yes.
Okay, and we were happy by getting an offensive head coach because we had Patrick Graham, right? And we wanted Leslie Frazier. I did, at least, and you liked him as well, right? As a head coach. Okay. Now we get rid of our defensive coordinator. Do you think this is an upgrade, or this is equal? Is it a lateral?
No. They didn't get rid of him. He chose to go to the Raiders. He chose to leave. Patrick Graham.
He left, though.
He left on his own.
Right.
But I think he's an upgrade to what Patrick Graham has brought the last few years. If you look at the stats for Baltimore's defense was like a top 5 defense prior, not this year, because their quarterbacks, the corners are hurt, the safeties, they had a lot of issues. But prior to, they were like 2, 3, 4, whatever they were, ranked defensively. So it's going to be a big difference with Mr. Wink.
Baltimore always plays pretty good defense, though. Just generally, they play good defense.
Well,
no confusion with the
game show host.
With the game show host.
No, but I love that. That's how he got his nickname in college, because some friends somehow knew who Wink Martindale was. But you guys all ought to appreciate this. But actually, maybe not you, Byron, Mr. Big Time over there. But he's a small college guy. He went somewhere called Defiance College, which I had never heard of before I heard of this guy. And he's got this crazy kind of scrappy story about how he got into coaching. He was driving a truck and then started volunteering where he had gone to school at this tiny college, and just sort of kind of worked his way up by being a smart, tough guy. So I'm rooting for him to do well. It's his first marquee job. He's been a coordinator for 3 years with Baltimore, and then he was 1 year with your Broncos there, John. So
actually 2. One is linebacker coach.
He's got experience as a coordinator, so fingers crossed he does well.
John, what have you heard from him when he
well, me and
at Denver
we used to talk all the time.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah. So no, I mean, he had good linebackers in Denver. I'm not going to lie. I mean, that was right when they brought Von Miller in and all those guys. Von Miller, who retired after Super Bowl 50. I'm just saying. Anyway,
who's going to win Super Bowl this weekend, right?
Yeah, but he's still not playing. Anyway, we're watching the NFC Championship. My wife goes, "I thought you said Von Miller played." But Wink Martindale as a coach, I think he brings as a coordinator. I think he's going to be a big upgrade for the Giants. I really do. It's a good hire. You can't go wrong with him.
Victor, you're a defense guy. Your thoughts on this hire?
For the Giants.
Yeah.
Hey, if Byron thinks that's an upgrade, I'm happy because I like Graham, right? So I don't know enough about him, but I love the fact that he went to Defiance College, right? Because if you ever get a chance to watch this movie called Accepted, where they create this fake college.
Oh, yeah.
Defiance College sounds like, it's a bunch of guys started a college because they're defying going to college. I think it's going to be a good pick. But I'm just laughing about it's either who's the head coach or who's the coaches. But then he had good linebackers,
Oh, he had great linebackers.
Which one is the difference?
But no, I'm just saying from his time in Denver, Vic. Vic, all I'm saying
in general, I'm just saying
in his time in Denver, he had great linebackers. But what he has been able to do the last couple of years in Baltimore, I mean, come on, it's great. It speaks for itself.
And Harbaugh is a good coach. So coach under Harbaugh, it's a good learning experience for him. So
well, and a bad coach can still.
If Byron's saying he's a good coach, that's a good pick for me. I'm comfortable. I feel good about that.
Whoa. Do you have any nitroglycerin to take there, Byron? Don't you have a heart attack from that? I thought you were just going to pass out right there.
Over there.
Okay. All right.
I agreed with him before. He disagrees with everything I said.
As people want to know, Defiance College is in Defiance, Ohio. So if you guys were wondering. Special teams, nothing changed there. Byron, Coach Magagi is still there. Good to keep him, I guess, right?
Yeah. Well, they the new hire they got today, they said Tony Soprano Jr., assistant offensive line coach. That's Tony Soprano, Soprano or whatever. Soprano? Yeah, his son.
Barano?
He used to be the head coach, I think.
Miami, right?
What'd you say?
AJ Soprano?
No, the other guy.
Sperano. Remember Sperano from the guy from Connecticut? Yeah.
Bobby Johnson, they hired like the offensive line coach. He used to be at Buffalo. That's a good hire. Andre Patterson, the defensive line coach, is from Minnesota. That's a good hire. So the coaching staff is rounded out real nice. But the one guy that they're still looking at is, today they were talking about was Rob Ryan as a linebacker coach with them as well. So,
the return.
Is it the long-haired Ryan?
Yeah.
The twin, the other one. And they're talking about him.
Didn't they hire a woman as well?
Huh?
Didn't they hire a woman coach?
Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah,
it was what? She's like oversees something. I forgot what it was.
Director of coaching operations, Laura Young.
Yeah, she came from the Bills.
Yeah, another one from the Bills.
Yeah, a lot of Bills coaches, guys.
Like, just redoing the Bills coaching staff.
Gonna be the Bills of the East.
Which is not a bad thing.
The Bills were in the East. I could be wrong, but whatever.
Oh, the East.
Got you. Okay, got you.
Come on, man. You're killing me. What do you expect?
He meant the Bills of New York. No, wait. They're also, no, wait. Never mind. Anyway, I like the idea of cherry picking all these coaches from reasonably successful staffs, right? They're not taking anybody from the Jets or the Browns.
Who would?
Exactly. They're going to places that have had success and seem to have good reputations, Kansas City aside, of generating a lot of successful coaches. So,
and one more high assistant GM Brandon Brown they got from the Philadelphia Eagles, a minority. Cool.
One small step for mankind.
Well, hey, you guys heard who might be buying the Broncos, right?
Like Robert Johnson or the other guy?
Byron Allen.
He ain't gonna buy that. That's all fluff.
All right, whatever. All right.
Robert Johnson. That's gonna be the sleeper.
Yeah.
He's gonna move us to Birmingham.
No way, impossible.
Well, Robert Johnson is from Denver. He's from that guy is so maybe
I was messing people by saying whoever they talk about new owner, like, he's gonna move us.
By the way, that's the founder of BET, correct?
Yeah, Robert Johnson.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Rob Johnson.
Byron Allen was a bunch of other stuff.
Johnson, I think, was the founder of BET.
No, that's a different Robert Johnson, I think.
Okay.
By the way, Victor reminded me, Joe Judge is heading back to the New England Patriots as an assistant offensive coach.
assistant, maybe he'll learn how to run an offense.
Well, you know what?
I was laughing when you said about what do you think about any changes to the special teams? And my comment was, yeah, we got rid of Joe Judge.
You guys heard what I said last week about Dable. I think he's one of those guys. He's a Joe Judge, where he's a decent offensive coach. He'll be a good coordinator, but he ain't no head coach. And this guy wasn't either.
Yeah, he looks like a guy who's a lawyer and all his clients go to jail.
But Dable is our head coach.
That was a nice suit, though.
That was a nice suit. Yeah,
he was coordinator for the suit. He was sharp, though.
Dable's what I'm saying, Vic, Dable's not suited to be a head coach. I'm saying he's a great coordinator, but we talked about this last week. I don't think he's shown me anything that says he's going to be a good head coach.
And he's a Giants head coach.
He is the Giants head coach
currently, yeah.
Which is the guy I didn't want.
Oh, maybe it wasn't. Maybe I didn't say that on your show. Maybe that was on my own show.
Our show. No.
Yeah, no. I'm firmly convinced that this guy is one of these great coordinator, lousy head coach types, and in 3 years, everyone's going to be sorry that they hired this guy.
And it goes against what Byron was saying, because I wanted a defensive coach so I could have what you said. If Dable came, make him the offense coordinator and be great at that position.
Well, but
suck on offense.
And this is what we talked about last week, that I'm not so hooked on the offensive coach versus defensive coach. I think you go out and you hire the best coach, and then you expect that as an NFL head coach, they will do the right thing in hiring and giving authority to coordinators. That'll get things done properly.
David will be the best offensive coordinator coach, or in the position of an offensive coordinator.
He would be better as a coordinator than as a head coach.
So yes. The best offensive coordinator coach would have been Dable.
Are you saying the best offensive coordinator to hire as a head coach, or the best one to have?
Take Dable. You believe in him as an offensive coordinator.
I don't believe in him as a head coach, so I wouldn't hire him as a head coach. I would hire him as a coordinator.
Right.
He's from the Saban Belichick tree. Oh, come on.
But I wouldn't necessarily have to hire. I could hire him as my coordinator and hire an offensive head coach on top of that, and then hire a good defensive coordinator also.
I think that works.
I think he's making good moves as far as the coordinator and the defensive coordinator they hired. I think he's going to be like the CEO of the New York Giants.
Yeah, and Vic.
These guys do their thing.
Vic, if you're asking me if I think hiring a strong head coach and two strong coordinators is a good thing to do, then yes. And if you're going to have two strong coordinators, your head coach is going to lean in one of those directions or the other. I feel like you don't avoid hiring one head coach or another just because they're an offensive or defensive coach. I think you end up putting yourself, behind the eight ball in that situation.
John?
I'm of the opinion where I think Dable, and once again, it's going to be trial and error. He's never been a head coach before, but I say, hey, what did the Giants have last time? I still say it's an upgrade.
Yeah, special teams guy.
Yeah, so
yeah, we'll go on. We'll have another discussion on.
Yeah. Before I go ahead, I want to ask Byron, now that the coaches are pretty much settled in, draft is coming up. Well, the combine, what type of player you think the Giants need for the draft?
That's easy. Draft. Offensive line, edge rusher.
Yeah.
But because they have Martindale now, they might go cornerback. Like Stingley, the guy from LSU, the kid from Cincinnati, Gardner, Kyle Hamilton from Notre Dame, one of those kind of guys, because of the defense they're going to run. So it might, depending on what they do, it might change.
What do you think, Joe?
Pass.
John?
I'm of little opinion at this point.
I think if Martindale has his choice and if he's in Dable's ear enough, they go for the edge rusher first, and you can pick up a serviceable, if not good, corner in the second round.
Offensive line.
I mean, they need 53 new players on that team. Is what they need.
Except for Jones.
Daniel Jones.
Yes.
52.
Yeah,
you're right.
And
you're right. They have a clipboard holder. You're right. They've got that position covered.
Offensive line. They need offensive line.
Yeah.
Who's their left tackle last year?
Andrew Thomas.
Okay.
I think just again, like I said, instead of going after an offensive coach or a defensive coach, if I'm the Giants and I've got whatever they're going to have, sixth and eighth pick, I take whoever the sixth and eighth. I take the top two players on my board, regardless of position.
Yeah.
I think you think again, you're foolish to pigeonhole yourself into saying I've got to take this kind of player or that kind of player, especially where
game day decision, isn't it? Sometimes.
Yeah.
Hey, we'll send Drew Lock out there. All we need is a ham sandwich and a Diet Coke. The trade is done. Come on, guys.
The one thing you can count on is with the Jets picking at least one of those picks ahead of them, they'll screw that up. So at least you'll have one decent player to choose from.
You mean next year's AFC East Championship, New York Jets? Come on.
Good Lord.
Wow.
Don't. That's not. I'm not. That was a joke, guys.
What kind of crystal ball are you looking into?
It's the Dolphins. Mike McDaniel is the new guy. Anyways, big game this weekend, Super Bowl, Bengals at Rams. LA is favored by 4.5 points. Hey, a lot of speculation. People are saying Rams, but the Bengals have a lot to show. Joe, what are your thoughts over this game? Is it too predictable or is it going to be close?
I was visited by three ghosts in my sleep last night. I was visited by the ghost of Super Sundays past who told me that 8 weeks ago I said the NFC team was going to win the Super Bowl. Then I was visited by the ghost of Super Sundays present who told me that when I have no rooting interest, I try and cheer for the team that has the fewest players who are involved in violence, sexual violence against women. In this case, both teams are pretty clean, but you got Joe Mixon who likes to punch women quite a bit. So both those things have me leaning towards the Rams, but then I was visited by the ghost of Super Bowl future who told me that the Bengals are just going to win. So I'm going with Bengals. I'm going with Cincinnati, but it's a heart pick. Logic would tell me that the Rams are better, but I just feel like the Bengals are going to win the game. They've had the magic all playoffs.
Well, I found out some facts about Joe Burrow this week. When his mom was pregnant with him, he drove her to the hospital to give birth. He's beat Chuck Norris up twice. He's the only man that can dribble a bowling ball. Superman wears a pair of his underwear. That being said, and I do like Joe Burrow, and I love the Cincinnati story. I think it makes this a likable Super Bowl on a lot of levels. I think viewership might actually go up because people are just happy to see two teams that kind of like Joe pointed out with very little,
knowledge
stuff on them. But, I bust on Von Miller all the time, and I do want to see that someone are going to get another ring. But yeah, I'm going to go Rams by 2.
Which is interesting because I've been hearing a lot of Bronco fans going for the Rams because of Von Miller.
Yeah.
Victor's optimistic guy. Victor loves Joe Burrow. Do you still love him? Do you think they can win it?
Well, I also like Matt Stafford. So this is
who doesn't?
I mean,
that means you're a Rams fan.
Because I like the Georgia Bulldogs. So I always said I thought he was going to make a difference over.
Two girls to the day. Oh wait,
but the deal is, this is a hard one. I'm not picking for anything other than what I'm going with. I think Rams is a better team. I'd like to see the Bengals win it.
Did you change your mind?
No, I picked the Bengals last week too.
You sure?
Yeah, always did.
I picked them both last week, so it didn't matter.
Pick the
Yeah,
Bengals.
right. Which Victor had a bad divisional playoff weekend. I think you got only one game right. You came back, and maybe you'll continue that streak this weekend.
Yeah, I got a 50-50 chance. But that's the other reason why I'm scared of picking the Bengals, because then it's like I don't want to, jinx them.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
Well, Byron knows a lot about talent. You see it. What's going to happen this weekend, Byron?
Aaron Donald is going to be the MVP of the game.
Wow, that's bold.
You switched last week. The Bengals.
No. I picked the Rams.
No, I didn't.
Picked the Rams. Aaron Donald is going to get after them like he's never got after before, Mr. Burrow. Von Miller's going to have a big day. And don't forget the other guy on the other side, Leonard Floyd. They got 3 of them.
How many sacks are you predicting for the total team game?
The total team, let's see. They had what? Tennessee had 9, 10.
He won with 9.
Doesn't matter. This is a different team.
What does the Bengals offensive line situation look like, though?
Right now, they're sweating. They're having nightmares.
No, I would too, but are they any good? That's the question.
No, he got sacked 51 times this year.
Got sacked 50-something times and 9 times in the playoffs.
Yeah, but yet kryptonite is the only thing that can harm him. Anyway, no,
trying to set that up for 12 minutes.
Yeah. Actually, no, that was only like 30 seconds, but thanks, Joe, for the vote of confidence. But I want to see them both win, but my concern is the Bengals offensive line, and that's why I lean toward the Rams. Because I agree with Byron in that if you have Darnold plowing up the middle, and then you have Vaughn and the other guy, it's going to be hard for any offensive line to really do anything. So,
yet they won a game where he got sacked 9 times.
That was against Tennessee. Tennessee is weak. Tennessee.
Didn't Tennessee win 13 games this year?
They're in
the AFC South. That's like little sisters of the poor. That's where the Dolphins. Oh wait, no, the Dolphins are in the East. Never mind. Just had to get that in there, Rick. Sorry.
Victor, can the Bengals hold up? Can they protect Joe Burrow, or we're going to see a lot of sacks against Burrow?
I don't think they're going to have 9 sacks, but they're going to have a lot of sacks. Number one, can they protect Joe Burrow? Well, they haven't done it all year, but he's figured out a way to win. I just think that seems like destiny's on their side. Jamar Chase and him won a national championship. Isn't he getting rookie of the year, Jamar Chase?
We'll find out tonight.
Yeah. Tonight, 9 o'clock.
Right.
Okay.
NFL awards after the show.
And it's almost like that team is just a team of there's so much belief. I don't know. And the sad part is I like Stafford. I like those guys over there. You remember I made that comment when Von Miller said I woke up, I was 4-4 and I woke up and now I'm 8-1 or something.
Yep.
Remember that he said that? He goes, "Oh, it's a pretty good day for me." But I do believe that they better get to a start faster than they did in the last game. Like they can't wait till Sam Arnold starts yelling at the team to do something. You're going to be in trouble with that kid.
You said Sam Darnold?
Donald.
No,
okay.
I'm talking about Donald to yell at the defense in the second half.
Yeah. Aaron Donald.
Aaron Donald. Not Tom Arnold.
Exactly. Byron, how would OBJ perform this weekend?
He's going to get 2 touchdowns this weekend.
Whoa, that's a lot.
Oh, see, that's purposely dig at me. That's the only reason he's saying that.
Why do you think any of us come on the show, Vic?
If I said that, he would have gave me. I'm surprised he didn't ask me why I'm not picking the Rams because of my man crush or whatever. Beckham will get one touchdown.
One touchdown. How many yards?
He's going to have a good game. But Byron just threw that out. Spite of it.
It worked.
I don't do stuff like that. I never do stuff like that.
OBJ is going to catch one and throw for one.
That's possible too.
Mm-hmm.
He's on the biggest stage he's ever been in. The first time he's ever been there. He's going to go off. He's going to be just fine. He's getting 2.
Okay. I'm going to write this down on my notes too because he dogged OBJ. He dogged him all year.
All year I dogged him.
Yep.
Joe, how will OBJ do this weekend?
I'm rooting for him. I know he's a very polarizing figure on this show. I get that. But I like it. I like when a player is in control of his own situation. So I'm rooting for him. I hope he does well. I don't know about 2 touchdowns, but I'd like to see him grab half dozen balls.
1-1.
John, what's your prediction on OBJ? How many touchdowns? And
he's going to throw for 1. He's going to catch 1. Plain and simple.
Well, let me respond to Joe. He said half a dozen, right? I guarantee he's going to have at least 8 catches, and they're going to target him at least 12, 14 times.
Well, I mean, it all sort of depends on what Cincinnati does. If they're going to put 4 guys on Kupp, then he'll catch 12.
Yeah.
If they're going to try and play Kupp straight, then Kupp gets his 11 and OBJ gets 6.
Because don't forget the Cincinnati corner. You know who he is? Eli Apple. Mm-hmm.
He's good.
Cooper Kupp, waiting for him.
Lots of ex-Giants floating around this game. That's
Yeah, there are. Yeah.
There's no coincidence.
Yeah, BJ Hill. Yeah, these alignment. Yeah.
Quite incredible. All right. We'll get into the score line right towards the end of the show. I do want to hit up on the NFL awards tonight. Who's going to get MVP? Victor Rocho. I want to hear your answer.
Tom Brady
over Aaron Rodgers. Why?
Look at the numbers.
Byron, you heard that, or Aaron Rodgers. You heard that caveat at the end, right? Okay.
Yeah, he put that
Write that down, Byron. Write that down.
One of those two. I just, I think, I don't know. I'd give it to Brady. He's older. He still put up the numbers. He had a great season. I mean, give it to him.
His last season. Byron, your rebuttal.
Cooper Kupp, 145 pass catches, 1,900 yards, and led the wide receivers in touchdowns. He deserves it.
Joe?
But he's not going to get it.
Evan McPherson, because I'm tired of the quarterbacks. I'm actually with Byron. I think Cooper Kupp deserves it. He should get it. I'm tired of the quarterbacks getting this damn award. You've given it to Brady as a retirement present. If you give it to Aaron Rodgers, you're rewarding him for infecting a bunch of innocent people with COVID. So Cooper Kupp.
John, you got the tiebreaker.
Hey, but if I don't give it to a quarterback, I wouldn't mind Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind Cooper Kupp either, but unfortunately, I think Victor may be right, even with his caveat on the end there. Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers, but I would love to see. I'd love to see Cooper Kupp get it. I think that would just be an amazing cap. And even if he doesn't win the Super Bowl, that's an amazing cap to a season right there.
Well, and
for a guy who's good.
I would say, isn't the value of a quarterback being able to win a championship, and neither Brady or Rodgers is going to win the championship this year. So if you're going to give it to a quarterback, give it to Stafford or Burrow.
Cam Newton won MVP. Oh wait, yeah, let's talk about that Super Bowl.
How about they could get them a Super Bowl MVP?
Yeah, Super Bowl MVP, which is good.
They say that a lot, but Joe, that's a good point. In basketball is where it's debated a lot.
Yeah,
like guy becomes an MVP player, and his team can't even get past the first round.
Joel Embiid, Philadelphia.
Well, that was Jordan, before they built the team around him. Greatest player in the league, but he could not get past Detroit for all those years until they put the team around him.
Yeah, but remember, getting past Detroit was one game away from the championship. So we're talking about NBA players that are MVPs and can't get out of the first round.
But remember, when you played Detroit back then, you're lucky to come out of it with your life after a series. Even Isaiah Thomas, who came off as I'm the nicest guy in the world. Nah, dude, you were a brutal player, just like Lambeer. Don't even try to cover it up.
All of them.
Yeah, all of them were thugs.
All of them.
But Lambeer, God, I hated the guy, but I loved watching him play.
Yeah, he was a little intense.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, so
another award.
So was Philly back then. Rick Mahorn and Barkley and those teams. So
Moses Malone.
Yeah,
Moses was the man.
Actually,
anyway, go on. Sorry.
Yeah, no. Moses Malone was the only player to be eliminated in the first round as an NBA MVP. So,
one of the greatest players of all time, too.
Yep.
Exactly. Another award, Coach of the Year. Who do you guys think will win it?
Vic Fangio. No. That was a joke. Guys.
Bengals coach.
Yeah. Bengals coach.
You guys are kind of down on Tennessee, but I think Vrabel.
No.
I can't say his name, but Vrabel is the guy
He coached that bad. That was a bad coaching game.
Yeah,
losing in the playoffs. He lost it for me there.
But isn't that
Taylor? They're in a place that they should. they went from nothing to an injured quarterback that I can't believe he came back like he did, and to be in the Super Bowl, I think that speaks for itself.
But don't
He
they
was on
vote?
the chopping block. If he was going to get fired, if he
Who?
do what they did this year.
Who?
Taylor from Cincinnati. He was on the hot seat.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
he
if they
was.
lost that game, he might be fired. Don't they vote on those things at the end of the regular season too? Like I think they vote on those awards before the playoffs anyway, so that game wouldn't be a factor in anybody who's voting.
Oh, then neither
Wow.
would Brady or Aaron Rodgers. So Cooper Kupp with the MVP.
There you have it. Victor,
I do think though.
what are you watching? Speaker.
He just froze on
I-
us. Oh, there you go.
This is
I
my
froze. I think there's a discussion to be had at another podcast about, an MVP should probably be someone in the championship game. You know what I mean? I mean, who's done well enough, right? But you could also have someone in the championship game that may have not. I don't know. But
He's thinking, Byron.
I don't know. The coach of the year for me to be surprises the Bengals. How much would you have made if you would have put $1,000 in the beginning of the year for the Bengals to make it the Super Bowl?
Even
Aaron
100.
Bernstein did.
Pretty penny.
Well, Vic, it's an interesting point because I think
How much would you have made if you would have put the same money on the Rams?
Not as much.
I think they used to do these votes at the end of the regular season because,
Right.
75 years ago, 50 years ago, everything came through the mail and it would take 3 months to get all that stuff tallied. Now I'm sure they're voting, all the stuff's done online anyway. They could very easily leave the voting until, a week ago, till the week before the Super Bowl or even after the conclusion of the playoffs in every league and do all the voting online and have a result the next day.
Well, here's my problem, right? The year Jimmy Johnson won Coach of the Year, he took a 1-15 team and then won like 7 games the next year.
Yeah.
That year, Art Shell should have won the coach. He did a phenomenal job with the Raiders that wasn't doing so well, right? So I mean, how from 1-15, the improvement ain't that difficult, right? You won 2 games, you doubled, you won 100% more games. So I'm just saying to you that there's got to be more significance to take that team to go through where they went through. That's my debate there.
Yeah, and I agree too that the playoff accomplishment should count for something.
Yeah, but they want to put, this awards dinner, in between the Super Bowl and the conference games or whatever. And it's all about money, as far as, having one more extra thing, that they could put out there, in the middle instead of, doing like they should wait till the end of the season, championship game, whatever, and then go ahead and vote. But, that ain't going to never happen. It's all about money.
Joe is right. Voting for the NFL MVP and the other awards happen between the end of the regular season and the beginning of the playoffs.
Yeah, this doesn't seem like there's a reason to have to do that anymore.
Right. So in other words, you're saying that's how it is happening, but you're saying that should be changed.
Right, and I'm saying because of how it's happening, that's going to allow somebody like Vrabel, who had a really successful regular season, to maybe win an award that, when you look at the bulk of the season, which should include the playoffs, he maybe doesn't deserve.
And that logic, Mike McCarthy could win it too.
Absolutely, he sure could. He sure could.
NFL team in the NFL, right?
You got a point. I mean,
I'm agreeing with your logic, right? I'm saying,
Yeah.
Theoretically, not that it's going to happen, but
It could happen.
It helps, and the system helps a potentially undeserving award winner win the award. Yeah.
Cooper Kupp. That's all I'm worried about. Cooper Kupp.
Okay, so who will win the offensive player of the year, Byron?
It should be Jamar Chase. He was that good, that kid. The whole.
Well, he's going to be a rookie, right? He'll get rookie.
But he'll get rookie of the year. But I'm just saying, as far as offensively, if Joe Burrow doesn't have his kid, he doesn't, succeed the way he did this year, Joe Burrow. Like we said before, he asked for him, for the draft. I'm gonna draft you, my guy. I'm gonna get you in Cincinnati, and look what they did together.
He called them. He says, "Get ready, we're coming for you," right? And then he said on national TV, he goes, "Sometimes I just get in trouble. Where's Jamar? Throw it up.
There you go.
Jamar's gonna get it." I mean, that's my point in the Super Bowl. That confidence between those two guys is so awesome.
Get off
But anyways,
It's like Gronk and Brady.
it could be Cooper Kupp, right? Cooper Kupp if he doesn't get the MVP, he's got a chance for Offensive Player of the Year, right? And Jamar can get Rookie of the Year. I mean, I don't know if
flip flop either one.
what's that?
Either way, I'm fine. It's cool.
It's a win-win. John?
Antonio Brown does. No, I'm kidding.
Whoa, man, you came out of left field with that one.
All right. Sorry. I got to go with Cooper Kupp. Just from the production during the regular season, kid was awesome. I would love to have seen Derrick Henry, but he got injured, and so
Joe?
I'm not gonna. I can't expand any more on that. So,
Saquon Barkley? No, kidding. Again, kidding on the John method there. But no, I think it's who I think should win is Cooper Kupp. Who I think is going to win is probably going to be Rodgers because again, it's a quarterbacks league.
And let me go one more. Defensive Player of the Year, Byron.
TJ Watt.
Victor?
Yeah, I could go with TJ or Parsons.
Joe?
I don't know. I want to say Donald probably had the biggest impact, right? So if you want to award this like you do the MVP for the player who meant the most to his team on that side of the ball, I think you give it to Donald.
John?
I got to go with either TJ or Donald.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, either of those two. I can't.
And again, TJ tied the record for the most sacks in NFL history.
Yeah, he had a pretty dominant year. It's tough to argue with that either.
Not get the Defensive Player of the Year.
Good point, Vic. All right. So we're towards the end of the show. Let's go to the score predictions of the Super Bowl. Byron, give us a score, and I'm going to write it down. So is Victor.
Woo, 28-14 Rams.
28-14 Rams. John.
Let's see. 37-35 Rams.
37-35 Rams. If you'll go by Matt Gay.
No, probably it's going to be a safety. It's going to win it. So
Joe Caparo, who you have? Scoreline Super Bowl.
29-24 Cincinnati.
29-24.
That's a good pick right there.
Why didn't you make it?
Because I don't believe in that much in the Bengals.
Victor Rocho, you pick Cincy. What is the scoreline for that one?
28-24.
Almost the same as
yeah. What
Joe.
is that? Is that the Price is Right going $1 under? What is that? That's kind of cheap.
I know, like
Pretty much.
it's difficult to score 29.
And it's the era of the 2-point conversion.
That's true.
Yeah.
And they've got a kicker that might kick 7 field goals.
So it's still hard to score 29 points.
With Snoop Dogg and Mary J. Blige performing at the halftime show, will we see Tupac hologram at the halftime show?
Probably.
It's in LA.
All kind of strange stuff might happen in LA.
I know.
I will be doing what I always do during the halftime show, going to the bathroom, eating, filling my plate, walking the dog.
I will say the same thing I say every halftime. Oh wait, this is empty. I need more apple juice.
There you go.
All right. Well, there you have it. Super Bowl this weekend at 6:30 p.m. on NBC. Bengals versus Rams, or Rams versus Bengals, because Bengals are technically the home team. Let's go into contact information. Joe, what is the best way to reach you online and also your show on Saturday nights?
So we got a show every Saturday, 11 o'clock Eastern. It's called the Sports Plus Show. You can tune in to valleyfreeradio.org or check us out at all the podcast places. I've also got another show centering around the Portland Trailblazers, which we've been very happy to say have gotten a couple of thousand views on listens on our first couple episodes. So check that one out too. It's called The Trail Babblers, and you can read my stuff at ripcityproject.com.
The total rebuild.
Just a destruction, a demolition, and a hopefully rebuild. I don't see.
You got to say though, the Blazers have the coolest uniforms in the NBA, bar none.
I'm with you on that, and maybe the best NBA city in the league.
I'm heading to Chicago in 2 weeks or in a month, so no, I'm going to say no to that. But okay, Joe.
Byron Jones, what is the best way to reach you online?
Oh my! Look, I got a flip phone. Come on, Byron C. Jones 1
on Twitter.
Reach out to Victor.
Yeah, reach out to Victor. Then I'll call you back.
Exactly. You don't reach out to him.
John Ronenberg, what's the best way to reach you online?
Victor.
Via Victor.
No, I really, my only online presence is really, Facebook. And that's just because of my job. I don't like people really, and my job's not a big thing. It's just the people work for our company.
The CIA agent. Yeah.
Joe.
Sorry. Cover blown. Damn it. Sorry.
But no, it's just something where, I have a very small list of people I actually like.
If you need John, connect to me.
Yeah, if you need John, go to Victor. And Vic, if my dad shows up, say no. Hey, one more thing. My Uncle Eric. Everyone say hey to Uncle Eric.
Hey, Uncle Eric. Thanks for watching.
Hey, also, happy birthday to a member of the Uppsala College football family. Spencer Lester's birthday is today.
Oh, really?
Don't know if you're out there listening, but happy birthday, Spence.
He's the guy that recruited me, actually.
No kidding.
Yeah. Yep. When I came for my first visit, they said, Spencer's going to show you around. Okay.
All right, let's go.
Victor Rocho, what is the best way to reach you online to talk to you about maybe the Knicks might be the best team in New York in a few months?
Maybe the only team.
That time, Thursdays, 8 p.m., Jersey Boys Sports Talk. Please don't forget our Apple podcast. Subscribe, leave a review, pass it out. It'll help us out. You can reach me on Twitter at the Arocho, VAROCHO on Twitter, and I'm also on LinkedIn. So feel free to reach me out. But Jersey Boys Sports Talk, please pass it around. We have some fun. We like to get your opinions on it, and we want to continue. And we have some new exciting things coming, Byron, after the next couple of weeks of the Super Bowl.
And of course, in general, Santiago Leon. You can reach me at Leon SLEON. The Sportscast main Twitter is at the Sportscast1, and then the sportscast.net for our website. Also, the app. Stay tuned as well for new shows. There's a new basketball show coming up. I will announce that in a few days. Victor, give us some closing words from Vegas. Anything inspiring? Any Super Bowl message you can give us before we head off and watch the NFL awards?
Hockey.
A lot of walking. In the MTM, a lot of walking. It's been really good here. Nothing. It doesn't seem Super Bowl-ish around here. It looks like Vegas. And I came in late. I'm leaving on the red eye tonight. So nothing major. Looking forward to getting back to Florida.
There you have it. All right, guys. Enjoy the food. Enjoy the fun. Be with your loved ones. And don't forget, it's just a game. Have a good night.